Well, hello there. How are y'all doing? So good to be here with you. Well, today I want to make one of my favorite chocolate pies. It's just so simple to make, and I like to make this pie for my stepdad, Jerry. Well, I'm at the lake house today, and I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to go ahead and make my no-fuss pie crust. And I'm just going to throw together this simple little pie, and this way my girls will have a record of it so that they can one day make it too, and I hope some of y'all do too. So good to be here with you, and let's get in the kitchen and get started. Made my no-fuss pie crust. I've made it for you on video before. Now let's throw this into the oven, 425, for about 15 minutes. Let's get that into the oven, start working on the pie. The ingredient list is very simple. Just get yourself a medium-sized bowl. You're going to use 3 egg yolks, cocoa, 2 cups of milk, some vanilla, some cornstarch. You could use flour, or you'd have to increase the amount. I'll tell you how much. Some sugar, some salt, and that's about it. So let's get started whipping this together while that pie shell's in the oven. I've got my 3 egg yolks, and I've got my whites separated. You can use this to make meringue if you choose, or you can just use whipping cream to put on top of your chocolate pie. Just depends on what you're in the mood to do. So just beat your egg yolks a little bit, get them blended up nicely. Now we're going to mix in to our beaten egg yolks a half of a cup of cocoa. I'm going to sift it in because it's kind of lumpy today. So just get that sifted in there. And we're going to mix that in very well. We're going to do the same thing with 1/4 cup of cornstarch. If you don't have cornstarch, you could use 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. So let's get that put in the bowl with that cocoa and that egg yolk. Now just blend it in really well. And you could use your mixer. I just don't feel like pulling it out and then having to clean it. I'm just going to do it all by hand. Just get all the batter nicely moistened by those egg yolks. Why does cooking make me feel so relaxed? That, fishing. Recently started fishing out here at the lake house, and I just love it. It was so much fun the other day to catch my own catfish and fillet them and butcher them by myself and then cook them and eat them. Dang, it was good. Okay, let's go to the next step. To the bowl, we're going to add our 1½ cups of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That looks like about 1/4 teaspoon. Give that another stir. Now I've transferred my mixture from the bowl into a heavy bottom saucepan. Actually, I could have just mixed the whole shebang right in here and even saved washing a bowl. You can do that. Now let's take this over the stove. Turn on the heat. We're going to melt the sugar, but we're going to add the milk and the vanilla a little bit at a time. We don't want the egg to clump up. Now I'm adding a little bit of my milk and stirring this, trying to make it smooth as possible. Well, I ended up putting the milk and the cocoa mixture into my KitchenAid mixer. Just came out a lot smoother that way. I wasn't happy with the texture of it. Okay, I'm much happier with the smoothness now. I'm going to suggest next time that you mix the egg yolks, the beaten egg yolks, in with your milk mixture, and that way you won't have the lumps. I probably should have done it like that. I was just winging it. You know, cooking is all trial and error. So now let's just get this thickening up. We're going to low cook on low heat. Let's turn that down. It's probably going to take 10 minutes. Possibly a few more. Then we'll add our vanilla and take it off the fire. Pour it right into our pie crust, which I forgot about. Let me check on that. Yes, got that pie shell just in the nick of time. But it's actually perfect, beautiful and golden. What is it, Finny? What are you wanting, baby? He's whining to get up into the loft. This is by no means the most beautiful pie crust in the world, but it's easy, simple, and tastes delicious. That's why I like to make it. When I'm not trying to have the perfect looking pie, I'm just throwing this together, and it is so good. Starting to thicken up on the bottom. I can feel it. And it's been about 10 minutes, so we're going to probably be about 5 minutes more. This stuff is the best chocolate. Makes such a good pie. Don't lose patience. You don't want to burn it. You want to keep stirring it. Just stand here. Make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. I've got kind of a pointy spoon so I can get all the bottom pieces. Okay, it's starting to get good and thick, like pudding. It did take exactly 15 minutes. So a little bit more, like pudding. Oh yeah. Just a tad. Glossy, smooth. I think that's about right. Turn off that heat and go put it in the pie shell. And this is where you'll add your vanilla. Just right after it's thickened up, stir it in. Beautiful. Perfect texture. A little bit in there for me to lick the pan. Well, the meringue turned out good. It's just those 3 egg whites and about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Yummy. We're going to bake it until the tips are just golden. I love, love, love meringue. Now, I know that some people have trouble with meringue because they just want to beat it to death so that the sugar will all completely dissolve and there won't be any of those beads of sugar, rise to the top of the meringue. I guess I'm a weird person. I like the beads of sugar. And I like how they look. I think they're pretty. And I don't care about those rules. I just do what I like the best. Those are the tiny little sugar bubbles I was telling you about. I think they're really pretty. Here now, she's beautifully golden on the top and just lovely. I'm just going to let her cool a little bit. Then all we got to do is taste. Finally, time to eat you. Let's test. Okay, here goes. What's not good about chocolate meringue pie? Yum, I've been tasting and tasting and tasting. It is so good. The colder it gets, the better it is even. This pie is not going to last long. It's been super nice cooking with y'all again. And I'll try to do it again real soon. Toodles!